All right, welcome back to another episode, everybody. Today we have Kyle Guillot. He's a local racer. Uh, Probably not rookie status anymore, but been around for what, 2 to 3 years, I guess.
Yep.
He's racing a '69 Nova. Um, Dealing with the regular growing pains of racing these old cars. So happy to have you on the show finally, Kyle. Good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I remember, how long ago was that when you first started over in New Orleans?
I think it was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I remember it was I think I started in the fall if I remember right because I worked on the car all summer getting it ready.
Right. Yeah, and I was alone in CAMT in terms of actual vintage muscle cars. We'd have Eric in there with like a 99 Cobra, which, yeah, I guess a 99 is vintage, but in my mind, it's not. Uh, and then, of course, Gary and his custom Jeep. But so when I roll in and I see your car there, I have to admit I was super excited to see another old car, and even more thrilled that you stuck around because some guys they show up once and then you never see them again. So, um, and after getting to know you a little bit, I learned that the car's got kind of a neat story. Um, so if you could just maybe share that.
Yeah, so well, I got the car after I graduated high school and well, really getting into old cars is I guess kind of different than most people because I wasn't around muscle cars, sports cars, anything like that, right?
Mm,
Yeah, my dad had them in the past, but that was way before me. And so, in high school, we, went to car shows a little bit, and then we'd always watch the restoration shows on TV.
mm,
So that was really kind of my intro, I guess, to the old vintage cars. And well, once I could, drive and all, I had troubles deciding what I wanted, and
mm,
I it just kind of ended up happening that, talking to my dad about it at the time, said, yeah, I like these old cars, and so we made it like a father-son project, right?
mm.
I never thought it would become what it is. I did never really, I don't think at the time I knew what autocross was. Um, but yeah, we got the car from eBay,
Oh,
came
nice.
from California. Um, and I mean, Novas particularly, I think I remember one episode of, it was that restoration show with the dude with the bandana, like from Vegas or something. I can't remember the name of the show, but they did
Uh,
like a,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I don't remember the name of the show, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, and they had, like a Yanko tribute Nova they made.
Mm,
And I think that was the first time I was like, man, those look nice.
mm,
And then of course looking for, you know, my Nova, we ran across some Mustangs, because my dad had Mustangs in the past, right?
mm.
So looked at those, almost got a an early 70s Camaro. Um, and then funny enough, they had I think it was a 71 Cuda that we
Uh.
looked at a good bit too. So I was almost a Mopar guy with you. Um, but yeah, just on eBay, found the Nova, shipped it in from California uh, to a back of a mall because it was on a big car hauler, couldn't go
Right.
down residential. And in the passenger seat, my dad drove it home. It smoked a whole lot, but it didn't catch on fire and made it home all right.
Right.
Um,
So you threw out a bunch of cars there, so you didn't particularly have a anything in mind when y'all were searching. You were just kind of looking at everything.
well, it was I had emphasis on the Novas, right?
Mm,
But I wasn't, I guess, dead set on that.
mm,
Because I mean, at the time of course, the Corvettes and Camaros, are always cool. So, but they were kind of over the price we were
Hmm.
looking at. And the Nova was always like the little brother to the Camaro kind of.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, the other cars, it was just deals that we kind of, one I think was on Craigslist, somewhat local, so that caught our interest. Um, and then, yeah, same with that Camaro and well, I think the Cuda was actually from Florida, and that's why that one was ruled out because of rust.
It was
Because
oh, if yeah, I guess if it was close to the coast, it could be rusty. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we didn't entertain it that long
Mm.
to go look at it or nothing, but that was kind of the concern. And I think not long after we found the Nova on eBay and it coming from California. I don't remember which part, but it was more inland.
Hmm.
So we knew it was going to be a pretty clean car. And I mean, it's kind of crazy how rust free it was.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. I got a buddy with a 57 Chevy from California, and it's original paint and interior.
wow.
Yeah. And from 50 feet away, you would think it had a paint job on it. It's just so clean. So it's crazy how well cars can be preserved over there versus down here, or even up north's even worse. But um,
Yeah,
what
definitely.
what can I guess this was just a stock Nova when y'all bought it?
Well, it it's gone through changes even before I had it
Mm,
because when I had it, it was painted orange. Or say when we bought it, it was painted orange, not a good orange. It was kind of orange in some spots, red in others. So
mm,
just maybe it was 100-foot paint job. I don't know.
mm.
Uh, Stock leaf springs. Somebody put a 350 in it. I don't remember what transmission. Um, bench seat. Pretty stock-ish, but
Mm.
going through, I remember finding, and I probably have it somewhere, like I don't know, it was something from like the dealerships with the kind of codes on it, uh,
Uh,
shoved under the seat when I was cleaning,
mm,
kind of ripped up. You can make out some of it, but I believe originally it was a straight six car,
okay.
um, frost green, which we did confirm when we started, getting that orange paint off. You could see remnants of it.
Mm,
So, I mean, it was just as plain as a combat car from back when could be.
right.
Uh, but then, yeah, when I got it, it had the 350 in it that ran pretty rough. Uh, but, all that was taken out. It's a full makeover.
Was the plan going into it just to paint it, freshen everything up? Just
No, it
no.
changed along the way.
Mm,
So, um, I'd say that first uh, iteration of the car, my dad was the one kind of in control. I had input, of course, but it
mm,
was a team project. Um, so his big thing, of course, was to redo all the suspension. Like he didn't trust any of the original stuff.
right.
So we put, you know, uh, multi-leafs in the back because I think they came with
I think they
mono-leafs.
had monos, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we had a pretty, like I don't know, a 4 or 5 stack multi-leaf, some pretty
Mm,
substantial one. Put a Ford 9 inch in it, so it's always had the Ford
cool.
9 inch, though it has a different one now. Um, in the front, just some tubular control arms, nothing that was really racy, I guess.
Mm,
I don't even know what brand it was. But we did all that, and I don't even know how the LS kind of came into play, because I mean, at the time I didn't really know anything about them, which is kind of crazy to think, but yeah, I think we wanted that modern fuel injection, and I mean, the LS market is
yeah, it's
crazy. It has
crazy.
everything you need,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So, um, again, eBay came into play and got a 2006 LS2 with its 4L65E four-speed auto off of eBay. Unfortunately, well, time skip ahead a little bit and it's in the car and its first fire up. It sounds absolutely terrible. And turns out it has a spun bearing and it was just, slapping the side of the cylinder real nice. So had to, I mean, it's a completely rebuilt motor now, right? Uh,
Okay. Oh, so
After
you
all of
did
that.
rebuild that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
between a machine shop and my uncle,
Okay.
that motor, because, working on the car, I mean, I was back and forth from LSU.
Okay.
Um, so every weekend, kind of coming back Friday or Thursday, whenever I got out of class to come work on it.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, I mean, it completely fresh motor, pretty much stock. Um, like we were talking, I had that super small cam. It's just like a little something because that was even before like I was going to tune it. We were going to get somebody else to tune it, and that was
mm,
going to be that, right?
right.
So that was another thing that kind of evolved into me getting HP tuners and learning to tune.
Mm,
Um, but getting back to kind of, I guess, the build in total, once we did all the suspension and engine stuff, that's, well, I guess some of the interior too. But like that's when we're like, okay, we probably should just paint it. Because our plan originally was just to get it drivable and reliable,
mm.
and well, the cowl hood was always in play. So it was literally going to be an orangey red car with a black cowl hood.
Yeah.
That was the plan, but kind of, I guess, seeing how much work was put into it and how much had to happen to get it, across the finish line, we decided it was time to paint it.
Mm.
And, I think I should also mention all this work is being done on a driveway. We don't have a garage, so it's,
Wow.
all on the driveway. I mean, I remember, just sitting once we got the old engine out, sitting in there, cleaning everything up, and the mail person would come by and be like, "What is going on here?" Like, well, working on the car, man.
That's that's how it was when I was growing up. I my parents had a carport on their house, and
Yep.
I remember being a kid, my dad painting cars under the carport. Um, he got fancy a couple times and hung Visqueen up,
Oh,
to,
nice. Yeah.
to keep the leaves from blowing in there. Uh, and then actually, I painted. Uh, I think I painted my first vehicle, my truck I drove to high school. I painted under that carport too. It's funny. So
Yeah.
yeah, similar situation. Uh,
Hmm.
but look, that's the way it was done even a long time ago. People pulling engines with a hoist from a tree. We didn't
Yeah. I
do that.
mean,
We didn't do that. We had some other contraption.
yeah. I mean, I remember seeing pictures of, cars parked half in the street and they're pulling engines
Mm.
back when, and
Right.
it's also when you could have stuff in your front yard without a complaint.
Right.
Um, but we did end up utilizing my uncle's garage to paint the car.
Mm.
My dad painted it. Still have all the overspray in my uncle's garage from when we painted it because you know how overspray is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so once we got it painted, I mean, I remember, well, my dad has painted cars in the past, but this is, back when, right?
Mm.
And so to touch it all up, we wet sanded it and
Mm.
polished it, all that stuff. And, what a process that was. And even, oh, the body work. And I don't want to do body work again, you
You
know?
don't need to talk to me about body work.
Yeah.
Sanding. I actually like doing it though. So I think
Okay.
I got a little mental sickness there, I think.
Maybe. But I mean, the, to me, it's like, it came out awesome,
Yeah,
right?
it looks great. Yeah.
Like, um, Yeah, so just and all that sanding and wet sanding and polishing that was done in a boat shed, so
Right.
we were somewhat upgrading from the carport at the
Mm,
time.
yeah.
Um,
Awesome. Had y'all blown the car all apart to paint it? Like take all the glass and everything out of it?
oh no,
No.
no.
Okay.
So really just the hood quarter panels were off.
Mm,
Um, a lot of, well, the trim, of course, because I painted all the trim black.
mm,
Um, all the glass still in, just taped it up.
mm.
I don't think I had interior at the time. No, I didn't. I didn't have interior at the time. Um, so yeah, doing stuff a little bit backwards, in
It
that
happens.
regard.
It happens.
Um, but yeah, and I mean,
And
that was,
how long did you drive that thing until you realized it wasn't really what you wanted?
well, it it ended up sitting a while after I kind of went and just drove it on the street some,
Mm,
kind of that was the first car like I got over 100 miles per hour in, which,
mm,
because I mean I drove, my dad's old truck
right,
high
right.
school and college, so
Mm.
so and 50-year-old car going that fast and you put it together, and you're hearing all the rattle and you start questioning your decisions.
Right.
But it was still fun, but I drove it for a while like that.
Mm,
And then it sat a good bit. Because I think it took us, I want to say 4 years
mm.
to do all of that, and that was weekends and when I came home from school,
Yeah.
Um, drove it for a bit like that. And then, yeah, I mean, it kind of had a little lull period there where it just sat until really I started watching drag racing a whole lot.
Mm,
And that's when I started fooling with it again, right? Because I
mm.
was like, man, I need bigger tires on it. That's really what that was a snowball. That's what started it.
Yeah.
I bought some these like Mickey Thompson, some street radials, like some 275s, because
Mm.
that was supposed to be like the biggest you can fit in a stock Nova. Yeah, they didn't fit. I tried to back out the driveway. I couldn't because it was rubbing so bad.
Jeez.
Uh, yeah, and so my what I was going to do, I was going to make it kind of like a street strip car. That was my plan. I said, okay, it's finally time to mini tub it, because always liked the big tire in the back with kind of that smaller tire up front, kind of stance look.
Mm,
Um, and so, I mean, I was just going to leave it a leaf spring car, get a shock relocation kit for the mini tub, get some better shocks and coils up front, and it was going to be kind of a street strip car.
mm.
Um, but kind of after I ordered some of those parts, I guess I just had I don't know, a memory of looking at some pro touring stuff back
Mm.
when we were originally building the car. And it got me looking into that again. That led to, man, autocross seems like a real accessible motorsport,
Yeah.
you know? So from wanting bigger tires, the mini tubbing, all new wheels and tires, all new suspension, the snowball, right? It just it just went.
Yeah.
Um, so in one summer, I redid all the suspension, mini
Yeah.
tubbed it. Not a fabricator, not a welder.
Mm.
Um, I had some moments where I looked at the car cut apart and cutting my frame, and I was like, okay, now it has to be put back together and work.
Right.
Um, hasn't fallen apart yet,
No.
you
No.
know. So
Did you mess with cars at all as a kid?
Um, a little bit. You know, my dad, he was always fixing things.
Hmm.
It was something broke. We're never calling somebody. He's fixing it. So, I mean, yeah, I was working on stuff a little bit, but it was more of a go in the shed on this shelf in this drawer. You're gonna
Yeah.
see this. Give me that and bring it to me type of deal, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's kind of
I
how it
think that's
was.
how we all were.
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, I worked on a little bit. I worked on the old truck he had
Mm,
with him, you know, but and then of course in our first kind of iteration of the car was probably when I got most of my experience.
mm,
Um, but still it was nothing like, you know, completely doing it yourself, right?
mm,
Uh, but I mean, you know, I feel like when I was very little, I was a big Legos kid, right? And
hmm.
now it just spiraled. Now I went to school for mechanical engineering, and so, you know, I feel like it all somewhat ties together, right? You
No, I
kind
mean,
of,
yeah, I mean, you're definitely pretty skilled for your age. If everybody hadn't figured out Kyle's a pretty young guy, which is even more impressive that he's into vintage cars because normally people his age is import stuff, or even modern muscle. Some people, um, but I mean, it makes me happy because you're the next generation of hot rodders that are kind of keep the old cars alive because they're definitely uh, the generations that like those cars, the boomers are definitely dying out. You know, it's unfortunate.
yeah,
Uh, um, so we need the young guys to keep it going. So, I mean, I mean, I knew how to weld and all of that stuff when I was a young teenager, but I just don't see anybody doing that anymore. So it was refreshing to see you that built the car, your capability of diagnosing things, understanding how it works, doing some mild fab. It's just cool. I mean, you don't see people your age doing that stuff unless it's their profession. No, granted, there's young people that are working in fab shops or mechanic shops, but that's their profession, not necessarily their hobby. There's some out
yeah,
there. I'm not going to say there's nobody, but it's a very small crowd, you know.
yeah, yeah. And I
So,
mean, I love it really. I mean, it's it's always interesting because it's always something to learn, and you know, it's cool. I mean, I'm not the best at any of it of the car. I mean, I think first time welding was on it, you know. I mean, I
mm,
didn't practice much. So the car is a lot of me learning how to do stuff on it, right?
mm,
Um, and yeah, I mean, just love the experience and, you know, being able to say, like, yeah, I built it, you know, because you get asked all the time, right?
mm,
It's like, you built it? It's like, yep, yeah, it,
absolutely.
you know,
Oh,
feels good.
people always ask me. I don't go to cruise nights often, but I went to a couple of them here recently. And I guess the light was hitting the car just right because it's black. It's easy for people to just walk past it at night because it's not bright red or anything. But I must have had 10 people come and ask me who painted the car that night. It was crazy.
Oh,
It,
wow.
and, but I guess to be fair, I usually don't stay by my car because I don't want to talk to people.
Antisocial.
So, and I just happened to stay by it that night. So maybe more people would ask if I was around. But uh, so, you had never autocrossed prior to that first time showing up in the Nova.
No,
Yeah.
no, I mean, what's the closest thing that I might have done? Go-karts like once,
Mm,
which is a
that,
little different compared to an
yeah.
old muscle car around an autocross track.
I mean, look, same thing here. I had this car in my mind of what I was going to build. No clue what I was doing. I mean, in terms of actually performance handling, I had no clue, right? And I show up at Mo Party 2021 having never autocrossed in my life.
Wow.
So, and it's been downhill since. It was just like a drug. So,
Yeah.
Great fun. And, I had to go through all of and probably still am going through some learning of the car's capability and my capability and what may need to be improved and what is good and so on and so forth. And you're still going through that, right? So you have the ride tech set up front and back, right?
Yep, right tech front and back.
Yep. And I guess your first challenge was tires.
Yep,
I
first
told you
challenge.
for like a year you need to get rid of those tires.
Yeah, yeah, it's and when I upgraded, I thought I got rid of the understeer until I was able to utilize those tires, and I still had the same problem.
Right.
But my first autocross, I remember, I think it was, I don't know who, I mean, it might have been Gary telling me, uh, don't let that one guy drive your car because he's going to do stuff you can't do with it, and you're
Mm.
gonna, it's going to go spiral from there. I think the dude's name was Carl. I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Um, but what did I do? I let him drove it,
Mm.
right? I let him drive it, and I didn't know that car could do that, man. I was like, man, this is what this suspension does. Like, this is crazy,
Right.
right? And so, I think I had that set up with those tires for a year. I think I had those tires for a year,
Mm.
or maybe no, actually, probably a year and a half,
Yeah.
until they was just absolutely horrible understeer all the time.
Yeah. I feel like these improvements we do to a car, it's like a ladder, right? So you got a problem, you're right here. You've identified the problem. Your car can't go any faster. You make a change, you drive faster, and now you've unearthed another problem, right? And
Yes,
it's a constant battle. And I think with these old cars, we'll never get to the top of that ladder when it's 100% good, right? Um,
no,
so, uh, and I guess we can tell the strange thing is Ride Tech didn't make a rear sway bar for this thing, right?
yeah, that was interesting because it seems like it's the cradle design. Well, the cradle that bolts up, or welds or bolts to the frame in the back to hold the triangulated four link. Seems like there's two versions of it, one for the first gen Camaros and one for the third gen Novas. And the one for the first gen Camaros, they have uh, the mounts on it for
Hmm.
the sway bar. Uh, and the ones for the Novas don't. So I just, made my own mounts and got this Camaro sway bar, and I'm figuring, the those cars were so similar that the spring rates of the bars should work out just fine.
Hmm.
Um, but gotta test it and see. I could tune out most of the understeer just through rebound and front tire pressure,
Okay.
but I'd like to, kind of have a dedicated component to try to deal with that issue so I can utilize the shocks and see how I can improve in other areas.
Right.
Because this past LS Fest, the whole time I was making changes just to correct understeer.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. I
you know,
I remember when my car had torsion bars, the stock style front setup. I did not have a rear bar. And granted, at the time I was running a much narrower tire in the front, uh, but it understeered pretty bad. And I got the rear bar for it, and that helped drastically. So still run the rear bar on it. So uh, I mean, obviously it all depends on spring rates and everything like that, but hopefully that'll get you fixed up.
yeah. Hopefully, make me a little faster, and we'll see if the front tire stays on the ground. Uh, Man, I had a guy come up to me so freaking excited at LSS. Dude, your tire was up on that whole turn. Like, just crazy, you know?
So it was doing
Uh,
it there too.
oh yeah, it was doing it there. Because I, after the first two runs, I knew it wanted to do it, and I was just said, "It's okay. I'm gonna get on it, and if it does it, it's doing it, right? Who cares?"
Yeah, who cares? It's not gonna
Um,
flip over.
no, no. Um,
It'll just make some cool pictures if anybody was around taking pictures.
yeah, definitely. Um, but I guess one thing too that I kind of skipped over was the transmission change
Oh yeah, yeah, I forgot about that.
because I mean I had the auto, and that was one of the first things to go, considering that wouldn't stay in gear. The computer, I could put it in first, but the computer kept overriding it at a certain point. And, I remember the one course we had where it was wanting to shift in the second in the first turn, and that 4L65 slams into second, it is
Yeah.
pretty hard.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it disturbed the car a whole lot.
Mm,
And yeah, that's when I decided I'm doing a manual transmission.
yeah.
And I think, I want to say I drove a standard transmission like once for 5 minutes before that. So,
Yeah. So why not, you know, put one in your hot rod, right? You figure
yeah,
it out.
spend a bunch of money all summer. Um, and then I had a month to learn it before I went to LS Fest East and did a uh, road course driving school on the World Corvette Museum's track.
Mm.
So that was fun. That was fun.
So did you? I know you've done. I've never done a road course with my car. Do you prefer the road course or the autocross?
I like autocross more. I
Mm,
mean, the road course, yeah, I mean it's pretty cool, right?
mm.
I mean, your speed is so much more, and especially that one over in Kentucky. I mean, the elevation changes. I mean, some I couldn't see part of the track over my hood on some of them.
Oh wow.
Like it was an experience, but I get maybe it was just because it's the first time I was doing it, but in the back of my head, I was like, higher speeds, we got more risk doing this.
Mm,
And of course, it was a point to pass type event. Um, but still having other cars at the track around me too. And I'm like, okay, well, in the car I built, I don't want to damage it.
right.
Um, I might have spun out twice. We won't, you know, one wasn't my fault. It was just raining because why not? Um,
Of course it wasn't your fault, right?
yeah, just how it is sometimes.
Yeah, I knock on wood. I've never spun out on the road course. I've gotten close a couple times.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was funny. A Lemons race we did. Uh, we put race brake pads on that car, and they like defy physics, right? So the guy getting in the car behind me, he had never driven the car yet. And I'm like, dude, those brakes are pretty grabby. the, the first lap, like he didn't even make it past turn one, and he spun out in turn one.
Oh man.
He comes in, yeah, it was pretty grippy.
Yeah.
Because lemons, if you spin out of lemons, they make you come in.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, they got to
Okay.
talk to you and make fun of you. The idea is just to get you off the course to waste time since
Ah,
it's endurance,
yeah.
So, but yeah, so LS Fest this year, Texas. They do things a little different, I think, than like the Bowling Green race, huh? Because there's no drag strip, right? Aren't you racing on a pit road or something?
So it's like the apron of the NASCAR track. So you have, I mean, and the NASCAR track's at such a steep angle, right? So
Mm,
kind of right below that
mm,
in the straight, there's, a flat spot, and they can do it's I don't know if it's exactly an eighth mile, but it's close.
mm,
And they're just using, well, looks like, your normal autocross timers, uh, to get your ETs and there's just like I guess it's kind of like a no prep
Oh, is it?
almost
There's
you
no
can
Christmas,
say.
no Christmas tree.
Yeah, no Christmas tree. There's just a light and a guy with a button, and he holds it kind of behind his back or something and clicks it, and you go, right?
Okay,
Um, Now, granted, it's not like a heads up race, it's just
just for
your
time,
time.
right?
But they do have you lined up with somebody, so
Yeah.
it's fun.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, that surface, I have some work to do to figuring out how to get that car to hook because I was having a good bit of trouble spinning through first, and of course,
That's,
time suffers a good bit.
yeah. I mean, it's hard enough on a drag strip. So on a bare concrete surface, it's just as bad. You know, I struggle at Mo Party on the drag strip tire, partly because they never prep the surface for us. You know, I'm sure the LS dudes get like super glue on it, but
Yeah.
at in Bowling Green, I know not
Well,
there, yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, we had a little bit of prep last year, so uh, hopefully they do it again this year. We'll see. Are you gonna try and make LS Fest in Bowling Green?
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to go.
Did that registration open yet?
No, I'm waiting on it.
Okay.
Hopefully, won't miss it this time around.
Right.
So I got Autocross Week I want to go to, and then
Hmm.
Ellis Fest East. See how that one's like, because there's just one autocross course there, right?
I think LS Fest does too. I think they do, since it's so big, I think they split them and they go, half the group goes to uh, the Beach Bend and then the other one goes to the Corvette Museum.
Oh, that's
And
right.
then they
Yeah.
swap, and then they swap on day two.
Yeah, because at Ellis Fest, Texas, you have the one traditional autocross course, and then I think they call it like road cross or something. They have like a road course in the center of the NASCAR track,
Mm,
right? And they block off half of it, and they do put out some cones. Sometimes it's a slalom, or they're just kind of squeezing it in, making it a little tighter. But
okay.
you're going a little bit faster, and it's pretty fun. I found out, you talk about brakes being pretty grippy. I found out my new rear brakes definitely helped. Because I don't know what speed I went through the finish there, but I got on the brakes because it was kind of a short, you know, off ramp to say.
Mm.
And well, I got on the brakes a little too much, and then I was going backwards. Um,
Spun out again.
Spun out again. Maybe one day I'll learn, right? But yeah,
Awesome. I'll warn you about the race, the autocross at Beach Bend. It's on an oval track, so you're surrounded by concrete walls.
yeah, yeah. We don't want to hit those.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of a pucker factor, but you just ignore them. Don't think about them, and then it won't be there.
Yeah, yeah. What
Uh,
you what you don't think about isn't gonna hurt you, right?
Right. Yeah. Um, I looked at Autocross Week registrations. They got another guy with a 69 over going to be there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be
Now
fun.
let's see what he has.
I'm sure there are going to be some studs there to whoop up on us.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's all about fun, right?
it's almost like an arms race sometimes, trying to
Right.
upgrade stuff, and
Yeah.
everybody's doing it at the same time, and
Mm.
you know, makes
Uh,
it fun though.
yeah. Earlier you mentioned you bought HP tuners. Did you just teach yourself how to use it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
HP tuner forums, and I think they had some Corvette forums and Ellis one whatever forums, right?
Mm.
Um, because for whatever reason, once we got car drivable, it would go into like a limp mode so often, like whenever you tried to give it power. And, we had a local guy kind of look at it a bit, but he didn't really know what was going on with it. So that's when we decided to, get HB tuners because I got the stock uh, ECM and all. And yeah, just going on forums. Um, I want to say I didn't really learn it for my first tune.
Hmm.
It was more of trusting a guy on HP Tuners forum named Purple Piss. And I'll never forget that dude's name because he solved like all the initial problems I had. Um, so, definitely a trusty guy there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
sounds like he is.
but, now I've, you know, tuned a good bit on it and understand the basics, still look stuff up and try to figure it out. But uh, working on a E85 tune. Um,
Okay.
I got the alcohol sensor on the car. I just got to get that tune going and then put some E85 in it.
Okay.
Um,
Is that something you added recently? Oh, you've always had that.
when let's see, when I redid some of the fuel system because originally, one of those, I think it was coming on like the Corvettes where the regulator is in the
Hmm.
back and you only have one line up to the front. Well, I wanted the regulator up front, so I have a proper return
Return.
style fuel system. And so when I was doing all of that, I was like, I might try 85 one day. So I got the sensor, and that was kind of a cool deal. Again, kind of going off of forms because that ECM was not pinned for flex fuel sensor
Hmm.
like some of the other cars were. So you had to steel pins, which I took it from the rear O2 sensors because I wasn't using any, and basically repin the connector to have access uh, to the flex fuel sensor.
Hmm.
And, again, just trusting the forms and wired it up and I was able to read. So I was like, okay, cool.
Is that the pins in the ECU itself or in the harness?
That's in the harness.
In the harness. Okay.
Yeah, in the plug-in for the harness. I had to pull
Okay.
some of those out and
All
yeah,
right.
put them in.
I had one of those stupid Corvette regulator things too. I've replaced it. It my fuel pressure was dropping about
Mm.
25 pounds under wide open throttle. So
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
yeah, like it's time to get rid of this thing.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to do the alcohol sensor too. We never had a gas station that sold E around here. The closest
Mm.
one was I think they were like 30 miles each direction from me, but
That doesn't help.
no, so I'm like, that's low importance. Now I'm not driving 30 miles to get like fuel.
Yeah.
But now they have one closer with the 85. So I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to do it. I don't know if there's any benefit really besides
Yeah.
it running cooler.
Running cooler, a little bit of horsepower gain. Probably, I don't know how much for the Hemis, but I know the LSs, it does a little bit for them.
Yeah.
And with the LS2, I was kind of looking for uh, any kind of horsepower gain. Because when you compare them to like an LS3, it seems like you can just put a cam in those and you know you're pretty darn good. Whereas the LS2, you look at intake and cam and a little
Right.
bit more involved to get the same power out of them.
Yeah. Hmm. So what's the future plans for the car? Any besides the sway bar?
Too many, too many. Uh, I got new subframe connectors, the Detroit Speed ones that go through the floor, so it ties everything together.
Do you not
Um,
have frame connectors now?
I have some bolt-in ones.
Mm,
They sit way too low. I bust them up on the trailer, and I really had wanted some type of X brace going between them.
mm,
Um, just, drive shaft exhaust is all in the way. So the Detroit Speed ones tying the floor in, hoping that strengthens everything up a decent bit.
mm,
And I think I have they're not rubber body mounts. I think there's those poly ones in the car right now. So there's still like, with the subframe being bolted in, there's on those mounts, there's still some flex in them. So
oh
from the
yeah.
Detroit Speed again, I got some anodized aluminum ones. So that was like I was thinking originally the wheel was coming up because the chassis was flexing.
Mm,
Um, Now that I've seen some videos, it kind of looks like it's just planting the rear out of a corner and it's, just picking it up. But having, a unibody with a removable subframe stiffer is always a good thing.
yep.
So I got those. I got a new intake sitting behind me waiting to go on, one of those fast ones. But the one for the truck, because those were like, well, it's basically huge. Like it's crazy tall compared to the ones they make for the cars.
Mm,
And it's like they're advertising for like truck or race applications. I was like, I got a cowl hood. It should fit under there.
mm,
Um, and you pick up a little bit more horsepower compared to the other one. And I
yeah.
mean, I have all kinds of ideas for more power, different suspension,
Yeah.
kind of wanted to go into more custom and making things myself. Uh, I guess more so that just because it's a fun challenge and, I always like modeling,
Mm,
CAD from school and whatnot. So I get to do some more of it,
mm.
so I mean, who
It'd
knows, you
be
know?
easy for you to is it triangulated full link you got?
Yeah. So triangulated four link.
Okay. So you don't have a panhard bar.
Yeah, that's right. So the upper two links, is your
Yeah. Yeah.
lateral
Right.
locator.
Yeah.
Now you can put a panhard bar with that.
Mm,
And as I understand it, you kind of have two roll centers, and at a certain point, if you lower the panhard bar too much, then you'd get a lot of bind in it.
I'm sure.
Um, but that's when, three link can come into play.
Well, I was going to
Um,
say you could design a torque arm because you already just take the upper links off and make a panhard bar and you're all set.
yeah, I was really in between the ride tech and the torque arm from speed tech when I first did everything.
Mm,
But considering, I was doing it in the driveway with limited experience, the ride tech stuff seemed to go in easier.
mm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, but I'm between a three link and a torque arm, probably leaning towards three link. Um,
Well, that's even easier, right? Because then and it'll put you one step closer to a torque arm if it doesn't work.
yeah,
Because you
yeah.
know, because you can just
Um,
you put a panhard bar in there and just take one link off.
well, I have to make new brackets to keep the link straight because the brackets are angled, right?
Oh, yeah.
And from what I've read, you don't really want to have one bar angled
Mm,
like that. Um, so
yeah.
yeah, it would be a little bit more work, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
yeah,
The fun of it is designing the stuff though, right? I mean,
yeah,
especially if you can model things and with the resources like SendCut Send now, it's easy to just
yeah.
order something up and, you know, try it out.
And do some of the math behind it too with your roll centers and instance centers, and kind of just see what you made, how it works.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm thinking back the time you sent me a photo of all your math calculations for sway bar rate. And, and so he's a mechanical engineer. He had some math stuff that I didn't even know what the heck it was. And I'm like, oh, I just use this web page where you just punch the numbers in and it gives you the spring rate. Meanwhile, he's got a page of math.
Yeah, yeah.
Let let me save you some time.
And it did. It,
It's
uh,
funny. It's like, what? I wouldn't even know what any of that math was. But hey,
uh,
and you're still relatively close to college, so you remember all that stuff.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's
So,
just occasionally dream of it, which isn't the best dreams. I call it a nightmare, but you know, still pretty close.
yeah. All right. Well, I think we could probably wrap it up here. It's
Okay,
fun. I
yeah.
enjoy learning more about car. There was some nuggets in there that I didn't know about. Um, I love that you just built a car and like, I don't know if I'm even gonna like autocross, but I'm gonna build a car. You know? I did the
Yeah,
same thing,
yeah.
right? Uh,
And I
but
mean, first time hooked and you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's
it's
all it
great.
took.
I mean, look, I like drag racing too. I am a drag racing fan, but participating in it is not as fun as autocross, in my mind. Um,
Yeah.
and I think the reason more people don't like to spectate autocross is because they see a time pop up on the clock and that means nothing to them, right? At the
Yeah.
drag strip, they know, I mean, as drag racing's been around, I don't even know how many years, but everybody knows it's quarter mile and, you know, 10 seconds. That's fast for whatever car, whereas autocross,
Hmm.
like, I don't know, is that fast? So it's
Yeah.
not a relatable thing. And I think that's why autocross doesn't gain the popularity uh, from a spectator standpoint as drag racing does. So,
Yeah. And I remember getting some videos, of my some of my runs I was doing, and man, in the car it feels like you're going so fast, and then you watch the video and you're like, wait a second.
yeah, delete that.
Yeah, delete that. No, it felt, I swear, it felt so much faster in the car.
Right, yeah. And then even people that haven't ridden in the car in an autocross are they think that too. Why are you going so slow? And then they ride in it, and
Yeah.
then they're screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta remember to tell them to hold on to something or you gotta bump helmets and stuff.
mm.
You know,
And unfortunately, it's not a lot to hold on to in my car.
saying, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just find something to hold on to, figure it out.
Like, shove your hands under the seat and,
I
grab
I
some.
I usually tell people just pull the seatbelt tight and hold on to it. Push your
Oh,
feet
that's a good
into the
idea.
put
Yeah.
push your feet into the floor. You know.
Yeah.
The cool. All right, man. We can wrap this up here. Thanks again for being a guest.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's
All right,
great.
later, everybody.